Good morning. Good Motivational Monday morning. I hope this Monday finds you extremely well as always and full of love and passion and ready to take on this new week and ready to set some strong intentions as we're going into this new year of 2021. I know a lot of us are so excited to let go of 2020, the feeling of just something, again, anew, to create anew with the new year and to leave what 2020 has brought forth behind. But that's part of the message for today's Motivational Monday. It's been interesting this morning. I've been up at 4 o'clock in the morning, like I always am, and I've done a lot of meditation. I've done a lot of prayer. Interesting that my crystals are falling. Oops. And a lot has come through. So sometimes, and I've said this before as a Begin Motivational Monday, I'm like, I don't know what to say, I don't know what the message is, and then it just kind of comes. But with this Motivational Monday, it's a lot different because there's a lot of messages. There's been a lot that has occurred in this past week. So let me just begin and just ask for guidance in this message. So last week's Motivational Monday was all about trusting the journey. And what I find very interesting, my favorite word, about these Motivational Mondays and what has been occurring to me personally is that I've been receiving a lot of lessons and examples that have come through after I've done the Motivational Monday to make sure that I myself am grounded in the message and I myself am living the message and understanding what this is through experience. So I told you guys last week on Motivational Monday about my flood and how I needed to be present, and being present in that moment allowed me to experience things that I may not have experienced or enjoyed or understood or reflected on the way that I would have if I had not had that flood. Well, as we know, last week's Motivational Monday was all about trusting the journey and the process of what is. So I had another example, another thing that jarred me very strongly last week that made me truly have to ground and trust the journey and live the message that has been given and delivered to all of us. Last week, let me give you an example of what happened last week. There were a few things, but this one in particular is pretty powerful. So on the 23rd, December 23rd, I was super excited. My daughter was on her way home to celebrate Christmas. I left work a little bit early with the intention of going to the grocery store and finishing Christmas shopping for my family. I hadn't done that yet. I was anxious and excited. It was really bad weather here in Maryland. We had a lot of rain that day. So I was being careful driving home because it was bad weather, so you had to. So as I'm about 2.5 miles from my home, I'm going down a roundabout pass to get to the main road to where I live, and I hit this huge pothole. I did not see it. There was water in the road. The rain was it was raining pretty bad. I didn't see it. I hit this pothole. My car's low profile. Bam! It hit the tire, and as I'm driving down this pass, my tire goes completely flat. I blew my tire out. Thank goodness, right at the bottom of the pass is a gas station, and I was able to pull in, and it was a service station, so there were some mechanics on duty at that time, and they came out and they said, your tire is toast. There's no way. There's nothing that we can do. You need a new tire. Well, my car has special tires. So the cool thing is that it's a run flat, so it can run for a very small distance on a flat tire, but you can only go very short distance. If not, the tire could fall apart. So the blessing in that was that I was able to get to this gas station. I was able to call a bunch of different service stations to find out who has this tire so that I could get it replaced. I was trying to get it replaced obviously that day, but no go. It was the 23rd. It was a little bit. It was early evening, but a lot of places, were closing early because of COVID. So, and this tire I could only find it in one place near where I live, about 25 miles away. What's interesting about the place that did have my tire is that it's about a block away from one of the businesses that I work with, Baltimore Bodies Med Spa in Towson. So interesting that my car had to go next to where this office building. And the only day that my car could be fixed was the next day, which was Christmas Eve. So I was obviously pretty frustrated, as you can imagine I was. I just didn't understand. I was so frustrated. I had so much to do. I was so excited for my daughter to get home, and I was like, man, why does this stuff keep happening to me? I was able to make it home. Like I said, at that point, I was about 2 miles from my house. So I was able to make it home safely, and I called for a tow truck driver to tow my car the next morning to get my car fixed. When I got home, and I had a moment. I had a big moment. I was like, my goodness, God, why? Like, why does this happen to me? Like, I'm good, I try, I don't understand why there's always, it feels like something jarring me. Sound familiar? I think we all go through it. I called my dad, as I always do. You know, he's my confidant. My first phone call. And to be frank, I had a little bit of a breakdown. I was in tears. I was frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And, you know, in that conversation with him, my precious father reminded me of, you know, just trust the journey. And he said to me something pretty strong and significant. He said, Sharon, you know, these things happen to you because you can handle them. You can handle them. You can get through them. There's some people that just can't handle them. And so you're given these lessons and these things in those moments because you can. And I got off the phone with him and I got so grounded in that message, and I thought, my goodness, he's so right. And I knew immediately in that moment that was going to be the inspiration, part of the inspiration for this Motivational Monday. About last week's message of trusting the journey, and then this week's message of divine order. Divine order is something that I've been saying for years, meaning that everything happens just as it should. Yes, we have free will. Yes, there's choices that we make in life that lead us into different directions, absolutely, right? But at the end of the day, everything happens as it should. The lessons that we're supposed to receive, we receive in many different ways. Had that not happened, and had my car not had to be towed the next morning to Towson, I wouldn't have been able to spend additional quality time with my daughter. We were able to, she drove me, we were able to finish Christmas shopping. We were able to just spend quality time in the morning together. I had plans on Christmas Eve morning to take a yoga class. It was my intention. Well, that would have been about 2.5 hours of my day that I wouldn't have had with my precious daughter and her boyfriend that came with her to spend Christmas with me and my family. We were able, again, to finish Christmas shopping together. And then they dropped me off at the auto body, or the tire place where my car was getting fixed. And as I went inside and I was waiting, I met this really awesome young lady. And we just got to talking, and it turned out that she herself is on the metaphysical journey and on the journey of alignment with all that's good, and feels the vibrations of what's happening in this earth. And I was able to have these amazing conversations with her. I had a couple different times during that day, and it was just awesome. And we connected, and she's now following me on social media and hopefully hearing this message today. And I was honored to meet her and to feel her energy. My car was going to take a couple of hours to repair still, even though I had gotten there a little bit later in the day. They were busy. So I was able to walk to the office building of the business that I'm working with, Baltimore Bodies Med Spa. Well, it turned out on Christmas Eve, there was a couple of patients that wanted to be seen. I was able to be there at the exact time those patients wanted to be seen. Literally, I got to the office, one of the patients was waiting. I was able to see that patient and help this amazing soul. Then 2 other clients came in. 2 other patients came in that day. And I was able to have amazing conversations with them. One in particular was having a little bit of a rough time, so we were able to really connect and have great conversations, and hopefully she left. In fact, I know that she did left feeling better than she did before she walked in the door. Had that not happened to my vehicle, I wouldn't have had that experience. I wouldn't have been able to touch those souls, and those souls wouldn't have been able to touch mine. I know divine order, and sometimes things that happen to us are frustrating. We don't understand. And yes, there are big tragedies that happen in the world. You know, when I use the words divine order, and I have some conversations with some people, they'll say, well, tell me why my child died then. If it's in divine order, Sharon. Well, it is, right? And bad things happen to us in life. They happen to us to give us direction and lessons. These things sometimes happen because it's just supposed to be. And let's say, again, when that person asked me about their child that passed away, it was his time. What we need to get from that soul that crossed, that is so frustrating that we don't understand, is the lessons that he gave us, the love that he brought, the connections that that life brings to us with other people. A very special person in my life that went through a very, very hard time for a couple of years and made some really tough decisions, bad decisions, I should say, for herself. She became highly addicted to drugs and lost herself. But she got out of it, and she's learned lessons, and she's stronger for it today. And she's able to share her experience and give those lessons and that love to others because she experienced that. Now, had she not made those decisions, maybe she wouldn't be able to be guided and to be able to help and support others in the way that she can, if she chooses to, based on her experience. We talked about it last week, and I'm going to talk about it again. Trust the journey. Everything happens in divine order. We just have to find the good in these things. We have to know that sometimes we're jarred so much to develop even more strength, to be able to have these conversations with others. We're going into a new year of 2021. A lot of us have a ton of expectations of what this year is going to bring. We think that 2020 and all the craziness that's happened this year is just going to be left behind. It is left behind because it's memories. They were experiences that we had, but they are there to guide us in the future. So whatever 2021 is going to bring for us, hopefully, and I pray, that it's guided through the lessons that we received in the year of 2020. We had a major event happen last Monday. I had a lot of people call me last week. They're like, Sharon, I thought this alignment is going to bring peace and joy and calm, and I am freaking out. I am having a bad week. I don't understand why I feel the way that I feel. And the message that I was given and gave to them was the same message that I needed to receive. We need to ground and calm. We need to take control of our energies. We need to find the good. We need to find out and figure out why we feel the way that we do. Because at the end of the day, it's our responsibility to ground ourselves, find ourselves in present moment. And know that the past and the experiences that we've had are there to guide us in the future and to help us guide others through our own experiences. I hope this message makes sense. I truly hope it resonates with you. I hope that you can trust the journey and understand divine order. I hope that you understand within that there is free will. There are choices that we make every single day that guide us in our life, that help us get to our end destiny. And we're either going to get there easy, based on choices we make easily, or we're going to get there in a tough way. But at the end of the day, the destination will be. It's our choice to get to that destination through love and light, through happiness and through joy and through lessons, or through sorrow and pain. Yes, we have those things. Those things are there to guide us, but not for us to stay there. Let's remember that as we go into this new year of 2020. Let's remember that as we experience all the things that we experience in our life. We have to remember to stay grounded, stay within ourselves, stay in the present moment. And at the end of the day, bring in that light and love, because that's what it's supposed to be. This life is supposed to be joy and happiness. And we can find that, but we can only find that within ourselves. It is a choice. I wish you the very best this week. I wish you an amazing start to 2020. I hope you set intentions for this year coming of joy, of lessons, of light, and of love, and of strength. And know that those things that happen that jar us in a negative way are only there to bring us even more light and love through understanding. I wish you the very best. Please stay with this. And as always, I ask you to stay with love. Until next year, and until next week, I wish you the very, very best.